Good day, boys. This might look like a surface level video, but I can assure you it's truly not. The men in our community have asked me to make this video, and I'm excited to make it because this is something that we're faced in relationships almost every day, almost every week, multiple times a week. We have to face this kind of struggle. And to be honest, what I'm about to tell you, if someone had told me this, it would have saved me years of struggling. Because when I was younger, when I got together with my girl at 17, 5.5 years ago, I didn't even know that this was a problem. I didn't even know that you could react differently to her emotions than what I saw other people do, right? So you might be in a situation where often your girl, or sometimes your girl, she just catches you off guard. She's emotional, she's moody, and you don't really know how to react to that. No one has ever told you how to react to that. You've maybe seen other people, right? Like your father maybe react to your mother's moods or something, but no one has actually told you what to do here. And so it's confusing for you. And what usually happens is the same thing that happened maybe to your parents, right? She gets moody, he reacts in some kind of way, and then she closes down. Emotionally, physically, mentally, and there's really a problem here. This is not just something that just happens like that. You might think this is normal because that's all the experiences you've ever made in your life, but to be honest, it's not normal. It shouldn't be normal, right? Because at the end of the day, what this does for your relationship is it keeps both of you from going deeper in the relationship. What I mean by that is, when she closes down, why does she do that? Well, because she doesn't feel loved, because she doesn't feel seen and heard, and because she doesn't feel recognized. And at the end of the day, she doesn't want to open because she doesn't trust you, or she doesn't trust your reaction to her moods. That's the real problem here, right? And of course, when she closes down, what happens to you? Well, you start resenting her. You start becoming the guy that's like, you know, these guys in the pub that just these 40, 50-year-old men, just like 3 of them sitting at a table complaining about their wives. That's you if you continue doing this for the next 30 years. Or maybe you're already at that age, right? And that is you. There's something you can do about this. And I want to tell you what you can do about it. Because otherwise, your relationship is either doomed to fail or doomed to stay surface level. Because, like I said, she doesn't allow you to go deep with her because she closes down, and thus you resent her, which causes her to close down even more, and then you resent her even more, and then you get into this downward spiral. I want to teach you how you can get into the upward spiral, because that's where I'm at right now. So usually, for around 80% of the cases, this is not the case for 100% of people, but usually what happens is the woman has more of a feminine sexual essence, the man has more of a masculine sexual essence, right? And the spiritual teacher and author David Deida, who among many other books wrote The Way of the Superior Man, a book that many of you might know, he said in one of his books, I don't remember in which one it was, that a woman is like an ocean. She's beautiful, she's vast, she's powerful, she's radiant, but at the same time, she is uncontrollable. She's chaotic. Or not specifically a woman, sorry, my bad here. Not a woman is that, but the feminine within a woman is that. And the feminine within a man is the same thing, right? Even a very masculine guy, he also has a feminine side to him, and that side is important. He needs to embrace that and to learn about that side as well, right? To become whole within himself. But that's another topic. At the end of the day, what I want you to realize is, you cannot have those attractive sides of a woman, this radiant energy that she gives you, this sexiness, this vastness, this beauty. You can't get that without also having to deal with her more chaotic and more uncontrollable sides. So at the end of the day, not only do you need to learn how to accept these sides of her, you also need to learn how to deal with them. And that's the difficult part, right? A good captain, he knows how to navigate a very chaotic and uncontrollable ocean. That's who you have to become. You have to become the captain that can navigate your woman's moods. And one thing that people often talk about here is stoicism, of course, right? With stoicism, many people talk about stoicism as in like, just act cold, just act avoidant, just detach from problems. That's not really what stoicism is about, to be honest. Stoicism really is about seeing your emotions, feeling your emotions, being aware of your emotions, looking at them objectively, and then not letting them control you. When your girl gets upset and she closes down physically and you're like, ah, fucking hell, that happens again. That's not you, that's an emotion you're feeling. And you don't need to react to that emotion immediately. You can take a step back from it, and of course this takes some practice, but you can take a step back from this and realize like, oh, I don't actually need to react to this. Right? This is advice that people give on many things, with addictions, for example. When I struggled with porn addiction, the thing that helped me most was realizing, just because I'm horny, that doesn't mean I need to masturbate and watch porn. Right? It's just a feeling, it's just an emotion I'm feeling, and of course that emotion is valid and it's not bad or anything, but I'm in control of my actions, not my emotions are in control of my actions, right? Now, to be honest, what really happened for me most of the time was when my girl closed down, or when she kind of subtly disrespected me, right? Because she got angry or something, she got emotional, she got moody, and yeah, I felt disrespected, I felt unloved. What often happened to me, because I have something called, or had something called, an anxious attachment style, meaning I get a lot of these thoughts of like, what if she leaves me if I make a mistake? What if she cheats on me? What if she doesn't love me anymore? Like, all this stuff, right? At the end of the day, what that caused me to do was close down myself, become very distant, become avoidant. This is so-called protest behavior with that attachment style. Now I'm way more secure, by the way. I've worked through this, but a couple of years ago I was very anxious. The thing is, what happened most was I had these thoughts of, she needs to apologize first. She needs to come to me. I will stay here, she needs to come to me first, right? The thing is, that might for some people be authentic. For me, it's definitely not. And this is another lesson I want to give you here. Be authentic. Be who you truly are. If your girl's moods cause you to be someone else than who you actually are, that is the least masculine thing you can do. The masculine is the rock in the current, right? The masculine doesn't get changed by outside influences. That's what the masculine really is about at the end of the day, right? We make our own decisions if we're in our masculine. We follow our own path. And so the thing here is, if your girl's emotions cause you to close down, cause you to not be loving, cause you to act in ways that aren't authentic to you, then you need to work on yourself, man. I'll give you more advice on how you can do that later, but that's really, really crucial. Now, one more thing that David Data also said here is, and the guys from the community will already know that I will say this in this video. He said, keep an open heart even if it hurts. What that means is, the moment you close your heart, you'll act differently, you'll not act authentic, and you will not be able to open her heart again because you closed your own heart. At the end of the day, keeping an open heart really means just staying loving, staying open, staying with her intensity to a point. Of course, if she gets aggressive or like too intense and you can't handle it and you don't want to handle it, maybe then that's not the woman you should be with, right? But handle her intensity, stay with her intensity to a point, and stay open, stay loving, stay humorous. And of course, this takes some effort, this takes some conscious thought. Most likely, you react in the same way that your parents reacted to you being angry, right? And you're caught in those patterns. But the thing is, it might not be your fault that this is your natural way of reacting to this kind of moods and emotions, and just your girl's moods. It might not be your fault that this is how you react, but it is your responsibility to improve it. It might be your parents' fault that you are where you are right now, but it is your responsibility to improve it. Another thing we need to mention here is, don't act logically. If you're in your masculine more than you're in your feminine, what often happens is you think very logically, right? But the thing that you need to understand is, if one of your guy friends asks you for advice or is like angry, is in a mood, he wants a solution to that problem. He wants an immediate, like, logical solution to the problem. Your girl, if she's more in her feminine, she most likely just wants to feel loved. She just wants to feel seen and heard and recognized, and see that you're with her, that you can stay open. And then once you've done that, once you've built trust through that, in the long term and in the short term in the situation, then you can really think about, is there an actual problem here, or did she just want to feel loved? And if there is an actual problem here, how do we solve it, right? But only do that, only think of a logical solution to the problem once you've made her feel comfortable, once you've made her feel loved. Otherwise, it won't work. She won't be able to open to your solution. She'll what's the right word? She'll kind of compete with you, right? You mention one solution and then she's like, oh no, that's bad, we'll do this. That's because you didn't make her feel loved before. Now there's a few more things I want to mention here just quickly. Seeing the humor in the current moment is a fucking game changer. If you can detach from her moods and just see how funny it is that this little girl is throwing a tantrum, right? Like, for me, my girl is tiny, and so if she's like kind of moody and kind of frustrated or closes down, it's just cute, to be honest. If you can see that and react with humor, then amazing. Another thing that is crucial here is, don't react to what she's saying, react to what she's doing. Read her body language. Don't just listen to her words, because she might go in her room and tell you, leave me alone. But in reality, once you then leave her alone, she feels left alone, and that's not how she wants to feel. She wants to feel loved. Of course, there are situations where she wants to feel alone, and you need to learn how to navigate these kind of situations and how to read the situation, right? But at the end of the day, if she says, leave me alone, sometimes, for what I've found in my relationship, more often than not, going to her, cuddling with her, not saying anything, but literally just lying down in the same bed and physically being with her, helps a lot, and helps her to open up again, and to open her body, open her emotions, open her mental state, and be with you again in love. And earlier I said that I would give you a lesson or a piece of advice on how you can improve yourself without being with her, right? Without having these situations, just on your own. And that's very simple, to be honest. Spend time alone without distractions. Become more comfortable with yourself. This is something that in today's day and age is incredibly difficult, especially for younger men, because we have all these distractions. We have all these unlimited sources of information, unlimited sources of entertainment, literally at our fingertips. And yet, we are just distracting ourselves. We're just distracting ourselves from the inner work that we have to do. There are things that you don't want to see. There are things that I don't want to see. I've recently gotten into shadow work, if that's... I won't explain it here, you can look it up. But man, there are things. I went with a guy who guided me in a meditation. I went very deep. I meditated for like an hour, he guided me through it. And I went so deep that I saw parts of myself that I didn't want to see. Parts that are not who I want to be. Parts that can really hurt people. And the thing is, I need to see those parts. I need to discover those parts. I need to learn to recognize and love those parts about me and learn to control them instead of distract myself from them and push them away. That won't work. You need to do the exact same thing. Maybe not as drastic as me, because I'm already quite far into that journey of like discovering my inner self. But man, just being alone, going for a walk without listening to music, without listening to a podcast, without calling someone, but just going for a walk alone, or sitting alone every day for 5 minutes. Those kind of things will really make you more comfortable with yourself, because you're not running away from yourself anymore. Now, what I'm about to say is only for the really ambitious guys watching this. For the guys who don't watch these kinds of videos to distract themselves, but they watch these kinds of videos to get knowledge, to get value, to get wisdom, and to master their relationship. If you're that guy, what you can do is you can join our community. There are around 90 men in there learning from me and learning from each other on a daily basis about how they can improve their relationship. The community is completely free, but it's really a place where many members now, honestly, on a daily basis, they tell me like, man, what we're building here, what you're building here as the leader of this community has immense value and is the best place to learn how to build a sustainable, loving relationship that still has attraction and that doesn't become like a friendship over time, but a relationship that actually thrives, not just survives. The other 90 guys in that community, they're getting great results, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description. You can apply to that community. I'll read over your application, so don't write any bullshit in there. And yeah, if I think that you're a good fit for the community, I'll let you in. I'll see you in there, man. Have a good day. Reflect on what I told you in this video. I'll see you soon. Bye. And now enjoy the view, bro.